Hi, welcome to Sue Marie P. I want to share a 3-way cake recipe with you. I've got a buckwheat apple cake that I make all the time in this square tin that only takes 40 minutes. But I thought I'll show 3 ways to do the same base recipe, one with bananas, apples and carrot. So if you want to know a base recipe that's semi-healthy, but 3 different ways, come with me and let's see. So the first one I'm going to do the banana cake version. So we're using buckwheat because I want to make it for one of my gluten-free friends. But today I also want to make it vegan. So instead of adding the 2 eggs, I'm swapping it out and adding flax egg. I'll pop the recipe, the combination, back over to my blog at suemariep.com, and that'll show you how you can swap out 2 eggs for 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed powder with 6 tablespoons of water. Okay, so first step, we're going to mix together our oil. So I've got 250 mils of oil. I'm just using veggie oil, which I think it actually is rapeseed oil. And then we're adding that with our sugar. So I've done this version, or this cake recipe rather, with caster sugar, dark brown muscovado sugar, and also light brown sugar. So I'm going to add light brown sugar with our bananas. So we're just going to mix the sugar and the oil for a few minutes until it's creamy. Meanwhile, I'm going to actually mash my bananas. So I've got 500 grams of bananas. So I'm just going to peel those and mash them. Alright, so that's about mashed. And then we're going to add the flax egg. We've got a teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to add our spices. I've got 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, ground cinnamon, and a teaspoon of ginger. We'll mix all that together. Then we're going to add our flour. I'm using buckwheat, so I've got 275 grams of buckwheat flour. Haven't actually sifted it out. For this style of cake, I don't think it's completely necessary, but if you want to sift. And we've got a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. So mix all that. We don't need to mix it too voraciously. We don't have to mix it too well. Just gentle mix. This will make our batter, and then we add our fruit. That's it. And we cook it at 170 degrees fan force for 40 minutes. And we're going to add the banana. So that's it, that's our cake mix all done. I've just scrunched and wet some baking paper. I find this method gets right into the corner so you don't have any creases. Okay, now we're going to cook this, as I said, for 40 minutes at 170. And that's our gluten-free, egg-free, dairy-free buckwheat banana cake. So let's pop that in the oven. So we're up to our version 2 of a 3-way buckwheat cake. So this time I've got grated carrots. So once again, I'm going to add my brown sugar, 200 grams, and my 250 grams or mils of veggie oil. And we mix that together for a few minutes. Was less than 2 minutes. This time I'm using regular eggs, so it's not going to be vegan, but it's going to be dairy-free. Not vegan friendly, but dairy-free. But if you want to swap it out, use the flax egg. So whip those 3 things together. And then we're adding a teaspoon of the vanilla. Then we add our spices. And then we're going to add our flour. We've got buckwheat again, 275 grams. And you can also swap it out for spelt flour, regular flour, and 1 teaspoon of the bicarbonate of soda. Mix all that together, and then right at the very end we add the carrots. Then we add the carrots. I had quite small carrots, so it's probably about 6 to 8 really tiny carrots. And that's it. And because we have our square tin in the oven, I'm going to put it into a round tin. I've scrunched it and pre-moistened it, so it fits into the corners. The other alternative you could do is you could turn this into muffins as well. You just put it into a little muffin tin with muffin liners, and usually muffin recipes maybe take about 20 minutes to 25 minutes. So we just need to wait a few more minutes till the other cake comes out, and then we'll pop this one in. So we have version 3, the apple cake, about to be mixed. We've already got our banana cake out of the oven and it looks pretty good. So I'm going to do a new version of the apple cake in the bun ring. I haven't done it before. So I've just sprayed that with some sunflower spray. So as before, we're going to add our oil with our sugar. Now I've just run out of my light brown sugar, so I'm going to swap it out for caster sugar. I've made the apple cake with white sugar before, and it tastes just as good. So we'll mix that again for a minute or so. Doesn't really need that long. I've got my 2 eggs. A tip with your apples, to stop them going brown, I've poured lemon juice over the top of them as I was chopping them. And that just ensures that you don't have brown apples. And as before, we're going to add our vanilla, 1 teaspoon. We'll mix that a little bit. Now we're going to add our spices. And I've got my 275 grams of the buckwheat, a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. The apples I've used today are just red apples. All right, that looks good. And I think our carrot cake is 5 minutes away from coming out. So we're just going to set this batter aside and then we'll get the carrot cake out of the oven. My epic cake baking day to prove that I can do 3 versions of the same recipe, one with carrot, one with apple, and one with banana. So let's get tasting. Okay, let's see how different they taste. So the first one I'm going to taste is the vegan banana cake. It's moist. You can't really tell it's made with the flax powder and not egg. I definitely give that the thumbs up. Okay, the next one, the carrot cake. That's moist too. Maybe could have had that extra cinnamon. So if you bake this at home, add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. The bun cake was a bit tricky to get out. Some of the apple pieces stuck to the base, but I got there. And I used the white sugar so it looks a bit lighter in colour. That worked well as well. So if you've liked my cake video, 3 different ways to make a buckwheat cake, carrot, apple and banana, let me know. Do a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. And I'll see you next time. Bye!